Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
And then you can go right into here on the left. Yep, slowly, right here. Slowly, gently lowered into the oil. Don't want to burn yourself. Up, down. There you go. And then we're going to hit our fry timer right here. That one's going good. Now we can drop another one too. So we'll grab one more basket, 2 hands. Yep. We're going to put it right here. Lower it slowly into the oil. Don't want to burn. Wait, wait, wait. Then we're just going to hit our fry timer right here.
Right there. Yep. Well, that's our good-looking group. Hello, everybody. This is not a normal situation, is it? What a good-looking family.
Oh, thank you.
How did you produce those good-looking kids? Oh, they look like what? They look like the what? How are you? Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Appreciate all the
Thank you.
We'll have you in Bucks County.
And there'll be no charge. Trump is paying for it. Is that okay?
$20.24.
Oh, you're going to some extra stuff.
Oh, okay, great.
This is all on Trump.
Oh, hold on.
I'm allowed to do that, right?
Yeah. Let's check and make sure it's everything you said it would be.
It's better be. It's going to be the best yet. I made it myself.
You're the best. Make America
That's
great.
it. Right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good time. Have a good time. That's great, isn't it? Okay. We got the salt on it. Never touches the human hand.
Very good. Very
Nice
good.
and full.
Thank you.
Good. It's cute. This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please,
good.
Please, please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you over there.
Oh, my God.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you.
That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense, brought to you by our merch shop. All those awesome designs you saw before the show started. Just so everybody knows, that video was 100% a photo op, and Donald Trump doesn't actually work for McDonald's.
What?
Yeah.
This is all bullshit. My life's a lie. Oh my God.
Right? And all those people that went through the drive-thru were heavily screened and searched before they ever got anywhere near that window.
To be fair, it doesn't sound like Kamala Harris actually ever worked at McDonald's either.
Yeah, they're just like, people are just like, no, she worked there one time, in the summer, and there's no... So
There's
they
no
just-
record. Like McDonald's has no record of it.
Apparently that was before income tax and all that stuff. So
Yeah, before employee records.
yeah.
She paid under the table.
But obviously the election's getting close. So this week we're going to be talking pretty much about the election, where things are going, where things are at. So let's just jump into it, Kevin.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
Before we do that,
Hold on.
I just want to make sure everybody knows that on election night, we will be live doing our own little thing till maybe the wee hours. Who knows? It depends what kind of shenanigans. And if
Hopefully somebody has it before Michigan announces, because they will not be announcing until Wednesday.
yeah, so I don't know if I can go till Wednesday. I can try. I mean, who knows, right? But we will be live starting what? Probably 8 that night.
Yeah, probably good time for, Florida.
8 p.m.
will already be
Central.
in, but
So also, if you guys would like to, join the show at some point, we, carve out a slot for you to give your opinion on the election, what you think will happen. So just let us know. Email us at, where's that at?
did you delete it?
No. That's weird. But this, where the hell is that?
You got rid of it. Oh,
I
here.
didn't get rid of it. Oh, yeah. Here's where's that at? Yeah. Email us that at that address and let us know. Or if you personally know me and Josh and you're following us on one of our social medias, get a hold of us that way. So
lostcommon1@gmail.com to be a guest. So I know we're probably not going to have a shit ton of viewers this week due to, I guess, the first game of the World Series.
Yeah, who cares?
I was really hoping they.
I don't even know who's in it.
For us, I don't either. It's not the Cubs, so
That's surely all.
got about another 127 years or so. 120.
I don't believe
again.
I think they'll probably be in it again. They probably won't win it. So,
well,
I'm just glad I saw 2016.
Yes, I actually have the newspaper from the Chicago Times for that. So.
I was out of state for work, and so I was just watching it in my hotel room, getting drunk by myself.
I hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
At the very end, I was like, "Damn, that was a good World Series." But during it, I wanted to pour it out.
Oh yeah, I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah, I didn't know. You guys are gonna fucking blow it.
It seemed like they were going to.
Then they pulled it off. So, Kevin, give a quick snapshot on how you think the race is going.
I think. Well, I mean, it depends who you're rooting for. I think right now, I think Trump is in the lead. I think it's all the polls show like a 1 to 2 point, Trump's ahead. So usually Trump is behind at this point. Even in 2016, 2020, he was farther behind. So I think it's going well if you're a Trump voter. If you're a Kamala voter, you're an idiot.
But if it is going well for Trump, that does not mean your ass doesn't need to go out and vote.
No, everybody must vote because there is this certain line and there might be a little bit of shenanigans going on, and we have to get above the shenanigans.
Yes.
We got to be above the shenanigan threshold. So remember, go out, vote early if you can.
Vote early, vote often.
No, not vote often. Just vote the one time. But
well, the guy at the quartering was like, get out and vote. If you can't take anybody with you, go later, lie about you and say you haven't voted yet, and just so you can make sure that they win. And then when you get them in line, be like, aren't you going? No, I already voted. I just want to make sure your ass got in line. And now I'm going to stand here and just stare until you get in and out.
That's right.
So
be very forceful with your voting watching.
Yeah, I think Kamala's kind of following the standard pattern that is the Harris campaign. Like a bunch of hype. I mean, that Anderson Cooper town hall shoot, you could just tell that he was annoyed with her.
Well, I mean, how can you not be?
Like he offers up these softball questions and she just comes off as stupid.
She refuses to answer anything.
Some people say she's smart. I'm actually thinking that she is not smart at all.
She's
I don't think she was ever top of her class or anything. I mean, she's an idiot. Like, I don't know. That was just horrible. When you have Anderson with CNN getting annoyed with you and pushing you because you will not answer a simple question, you got problems. And apparently every celebrity on the planet is going for her. So when you look at it, what strategies do you think both candidates are leaning into? Take them across the finish line.
Well, I think Trump's just doing what Trump does. He goes out, he has rallies, he did his McDonald's thing as you saw. He just keeps interacting with people. He's doing the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah, he taped that tomorrow.
Yeah, so I think did he do it today? It's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, filmed today. They're going to try to get it out tomorrow. I don't know why they couldn't, but
yeah,
I don't know how he does his stuff. I know stuff isn't live like us.
Yeah, and
live on Rumble.
Remember that. And
remember to like, share, subscribe, comment.
That's right. Do all that stuff. The Harris campaign is what the Harris campaign should do is just do the Biden thing and just stay out of the limelight, because every time she talks off script, it's bad.
She's definitely in a tight spot
but I mean, she has to do these interviews because, like the town hall, which went horrible. The Fox News one went really horrible. All these, she did some podcasts where somebody was just like, somebody tried to give her a softball and leaned into how she could call like Trump a fascist for trying to deport all these illegals and stuff. And she would just be like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And he's like, but your opponent, she's like, but I'm not going to do that. He's like, so he tried to like even like forcefully try to make her call Trump a fascist, and she just couldn't figure it out.
Well, and she dropped out of a bunch of podcasts. And have you noticed that like now her new response, which I don't think helps her out at all either, is I'm going to follow the law. So what you're saying is you're not going to be a leader, you're going to be a follower. Because if there's something going on in the country that you don't like, you had to have an opinion on shit. It's like, I'll just do whatever the law says. So you're not a leader, you're a follower.
Yeah, I'm telling you, their biggest strategy right now is what they did at the end of the Biden one is call Trump Hitler a lot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's their strategy. That is their Hail Mary, because it seemed to work for you know, Biden, so maybe it'll work for Kamala, but people aren't buying it anymore. People shouldn't have bought it then because they lived through 4 years of Trump. And people definitely shouldn't buy it now because again, Trump was president and there was nothing he did, fascist. He wasn't a dictator. If anything, I don't think he was hard enough on people.
I do love it how they keep saying he said he's going to be a dictator on day one. He said he's going to be a dictator only on day one. And then the stuff he said he was going to do is 100% in the purview of the president.
Like, why does no one in the press call people out for this shit? I mean, they know what the fuck he said.
There needs to be some type of reckoning for the press. Like you can't
willingly lie or just
and that's just it though. There's like protections for that, and those need to be taken away. If you're going to news station and you're selling propaganda, there needs to be some thing, because you could argue that the reason why everyone's broke and groceries are so expensive is because the media lied to people. So how are they not culpable for it?
Exactly.
So I mean, something needs to change. Oh, it's freedom of the press. Like, yeah, but there's no freedom to lie.
Yes, like this Trump thing where on the Atlantic, where the dude was just like, two anonymous sources said that he was bitchy about the paid $60,000 for a funeral for a woman that got killed.
It was a service woman.
Yeah, raped and killed or something. And I think somewhere.
The family was having problems with the funeral arrangements. Now, I will say that $60,000 is a lot for a funeral. I don't know where that number came from. But
still,
it ended up getting paid for by the Army and contributions. So like, and I don't know exactly what he said. I don't know if he said I'll pay for it or I'll help cover it. But if it's covered, then why would you pay anything?
I think they said they had it covered. He's like, well, okay, well, if you need something, I'll help you out. But then all of a sudden these two anonymous sources said, he said something about how does it cost that much to bury a fucking Mexican? And everybody else in the room, the lawyer for the woman, the lawyer for the woman's family, her sister, have all said this is a blatant lie. He's been nothing but generous. The people in the room that were with Trump that aren't anonymous sources all said he didn't say it. But I mean, this is like that fucking suckers and losers thing. This is the same as that guy wrote it, who just has these anonymous sources, and no one on the plane is.
Well, here's the thing, though. So there's a bunch of people that are offended over a false story, and you just need to look at who's ultimately affected. Is the family offended? Do they believe it? No, then who cares? Same thing with the Redskins. The fucking people that it should have offended, it didn't.
No, it's like Aunt Jemima and
the family, like
Uncle Ben,
take her off, and like it's. I'm not gonna lie though,
the Land O'Lakes
one was just
where they were like, yes, another white person took an Indian away from their land,
kicked off the Indian, kept the land. Like, wow.
I mean, it was so stupid there during that fucking whole George Floyd shit. It was
just stems.
It's just like crap. People just overreacted. And listen, racism happens. I mean, it does, but I don't think Aunt Jemima is the cause for, racism.
Well, and it's not a symbol of racism or like someone like, taking that off. Like, I would say everybody, not just black people, everybody has a person in their family that, cooks good home cooked meals and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, that could be what they remind me of. That might be, there could be a nostalgic, attachment to that, to where it's like, yeah, I had, somebody growing up that, anytime, like if I see my grandparents, it was always like from scratch, home cooking, whatever.
Yep.
But it's like, oh no, can't have that. So I don't know.
Exactly. I'll
I
let
just
everybody know the chat is open. So give us your thoughts on anything we're talking about.
Why is Harris relying so much on celebrities to boost her support? And do you think, I mean, does it work? Has it worked?
I think it works on her base, but that's not the people she should be trying to get, you know? She's already got them locked up. I don't know. Probably because she can't rely on herself.
Well, that's true. Well, I don't even think she goes through most of these events because I don't think the celebrities want to have anything to do with her. They're like, yeah, you got me on camera at Diddy's party, so I come out here and say what the fuck ever, but I don't want to see her face.
Well, I guess Lizzo, who was at one of her rallies or something,
The
like
one that
she-
said, let's make the whole country Detroit.
was that her? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. I think, but
Yes, it was.
she charged the campaign $2.3 million to be there.
Well, hey.
So that's
I
not a
do not
supporter.
begrudge her for
That's
doing
not
that.
a supporter. That's somebody you paid off to say nice things about you.
So they paid her $2.5 million to come out and say we need to make the whole country
Detroit.
the city that went bankrupt
Yes, we need to do
and
that.
has whole neighborhoods of abandoned.
Well, to be fair, we're not far off from the whole country being Detroit right now.
Well, I'm not saying we're not. I'm just saying.
she's just saying,
Like we're on our
she's
way.
just saying that, you know, Harris will do the extra push to actually make us Detroit. Not the Detroit that's building back up right now, like 1990 Detroit.
Do you know why it's building back up, Kevin?
Yes.
Because they're cracking down with law and order.
Yep.
And hopefully, I don't know if how many factories opened up again there, but hopefully that changes. There's already plants closing in Mexico.
Speaking of Law and Order, I saw this article. I think
It
somebody
was a stupid show.
It was about the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
He wants to he was just like bitching about police, and he has constantly 200 officers protecting him and his family
Probably because
out of 2,400 officers or something like that.
I tell you one thing, it's really hard for me to feel sorry for anyone in Chicago when they elected that dumbass.
They keep
And
electing
it's not
people.
like he lied either.
No, like he ran on what he's running. He's doing what he said. He didn't come in as a law and order person. He didn't come in as a strong on crime, strong on immigration person. He came as a far left liberal, and they said, "Hey, I just don't like Beetlejuice. Let's just get
That's what I think is amazing.
let's just get a guy version of her."
Yeah, it's like we don't like her because of all of her policies, so we're going to elect a guy that has
all of her policies.
on steroids.
Yeah, like what are you doing? You're effing stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I could see celebrity endorsements working back in the day when before social media. I think social media.
I just saw Leonardo
anything-
DiCaprio came out and endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit though. Like,
No one does.
here's the thing though. What social media did more, I think social media hurt celebrity status more than anything else that got hurt from social media because it removed the veil and you could see that these Hollywood people are just as stupid.
Wackos.
There's nothing special about them at all.
No.
If anything, they're out of touch and just fucking dumb.
Well, you can just see how much of elitists they are. I mean, like when the country was hurting during COVID.
can do
it. Yeah, and you got your fucking donkey out there saying, you know, in your mansion, hey, just stay inside. Like some of us can't stay inside, fucking Terminator.
Go suck on your hot tub with your pet donkey.
You know, some of us, you know, have to go to work.
Well, I get it. And I don't begrudge anybody for having money, but I mean, read the room, especially when
Yeah.
you're trying to tell people like stay in your house while you're in this mansion. It's like, good for you. I mean, I don't
begrudge you. I don't begrudge you for having a mansion or having the money, but shut the fuck up.
yeah, maybe I don't want to hang out in my house.
Yeah.
Maybe my house is for shitting, shower, and sleeping.
Maybe you live in an apartment and your neighbors are noisy as shit and you're just need to get out.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like you were the neighbors that when we lived together, like when we used to fucking drink till 3 a.m. and crank the music.
Yeah, everybody hated us. Actually, it was a cool building when we first moved into it, and then
Yeah.
then it wasn't.
Because it turned Section 8.
turned Section 8 and there were drug dealers upstairs. And
Yeah.
I mean, every now and again you could see pot strung down the stairs. So I guess you could
Yeah.
always get some free weed after somebody robbed a drug
That is
dealer.
true.
Yeah, they didn't appreciate our awesome party time
They did not.
and our like 32 speaker surround sound.
For a small ass apartment.
Good times.
Yeah, I mean, we could make the whole building shake if we wanted to.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think we had like 18-inch Sherwin Vegas, like 4 of them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Like nobody cares because not only do these celebrities offer up their opinions that nobody cares about, but then you get to look into their lives and this and that, and you see how touched they are. So they're not relevant. Like entertain us. We don't care what you have to say about anything.
Actually, I'd like if they just shut the fuck up because I like movies and
I was a little disappointed in Michael Keaton coming out.
I know, but did you see it?
I didn't see the video.
It's
heard
like
it.
he was monotone. It's like he had to read it.
Broody.
Like, was I listening to Steve Dace? He's like, yeah, it's like Michael Keaton. Like, they just called him up, like his agent's like, all right, you're up to bat. You got to do this one.
They probably paid him. I mean, she's got $1 billion.
I'm sure she did.
I mean, celebrities are whores for money. So
Hell, yeah.
I know we already kind of talked about it, but I mean, what was your reaction to the Trump McDonald's thing?
I think it was awesome. I think it's one, it kind of shows him that he can, get along with anybody. He can get along with, just the working class. And two, it was a slap in Kamala's face because, she said she worked there. And the thing I liked the most about it is it looked like he thoroughly enjoyed himself, like doing the fries, doing the work. And he actually enjoyed doing it. When he said, I kind of like this job. I wish I could come back. I think he meant it.
Yeah,
he likes McDonald's.
He'd be fine with it. He loves McDonald's.
He likes all fast food.
It is kind of sad and ironic that shortly after the Quarter Pounder was recalled in a couple states because of salmonella contaminated.
Yeah,
and it's funny. It was only the Quarter Pounder because of a very specific onion cut they use. They don't even cut their own onions.
What?
Yeah, they have like pre-cut onions.
Well, it's all diced.
Slivers.
Isn't it diced onions?
Well, they're slivers for the Quarter Pounder, and that's what had the salmonella in it.
Wow.
And it's like Colorado and some other state. But it was like, oh, that's ironic. I just thought it was hilarious because it's like, this is a master class in trolling your opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Like I thought it was great. Like, and then the reaction was just, this is just a photo op. I'm like, okay.
Well, no shit, dummy. He's not actually working there. Like, what the fuck? Like, Donald Trump doesn't actually work at McDonald's. Of course it's a photo op. What do you think? What do you think a whole campaign is? A campaign is a giant photo op. Like, if you just say it's a photo op,
everything they do.
Yeah, you're a fucking moron if you think he's like actually like, you know what? I see a McDonald's. I'm just going to work there for a day, and hopefully no one sees me or recognizes me.
Yeah, except for the umpteen thousands of people that were lining the street.
Yeah, they already knew he was going to be there. Of course, it's a photo op. Come on.
It's like those were real customers. Yeah,
they were real customers.
Rando roll up.
Yeah, but they were screened. I mean, obviously, he was almost. There was 3 attempts on his life.
Have you seen an October surprise yet? And if not, any ideas what you think it'll be? Because we're getting kind of
the only October surprise that came out that I thought was anything was that Trump fucking Hitler and that John Kelly saying he likes Hitler or something. You wish he had generals like Hitler.
Well, and see I don't know that much into it other than he.
But John Kelly also is he's been an anti-Trumper since Trump fired him.
Yeah,
he's a rhino. He's a warmonger. And he's very petty.
Well, yeah, and he got pissed off because Trump wouldn't do what he wanted him to do, and then he got fired and wrote a book. But I'm not even 100% sure if like Hitler came up. I think from the context of what he was saying, if he did say something like that, it's because Milley and Mattis were not doing what Trump wanted him to do, or they would slow walk it to where it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So he was like, basically what he was saying is, man, I wish I had generals that fucking did what they were told. Yep. And then like, Harris's little speech about how he's a fascist, this or that. And like, he just wants the U.S. military to be his own. I'm like, technically the U.S. military is his.
Yeah.
He's the commander in chief.
Yeah. He's the head of the military.
Whatever the hell he says for them to do.
Oh, speaking of that real quick. another interjection. We're just speaking about things I just heard in the back, and they slowly wrote a law in the military code saying they can now fire upon U.S. citizens on U.S. soil.
What?
Yeah, that's now legal.
I guess I never really knew it wasn't, since
It wasn't.
Kent.
Yeah, you're technically. I think they wrote it. You can't after that though.
Well, I know that the military cannot operate in the United States unless it's the National Guard.
Yeah, but now it's a law that they have the right to fire upon American citizens on U.S. soil.
Well, that's not going to bode well if Trump wins.
Well, I mean, it's not going to matter.
Not like I'm saying Trump's going to like send the military after U.S.
But they're saying there might be a coup against Trump if he wins.
Yeah, I seriously doubt the military.
I don't think so either.
No, but like, think about it. If you send the military in because of unruly riots and they start throwing Molotov cocktails and fucking shit at military people,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they put that in there, but it's not going to benefit unruly rioters. Because if once your protest leaves the confines of the law, then you're no longer a protester, you're a rioter.
Yeah, and you should be not put down. But I mean, I say you should probably
put in jail. Like, actually,
for sure. Like,
there needs to be
in jail.
Yeah, there needs to be real consequences. Not spend a night in jail and get bailed out by Kamala Harris.
Well, I mean, the only people that actually get fucking any kind of treatment towards any type of law is Republicans.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I just can't. I think the October surprise is just gonna be a bunch of.
But other than that,
Trump.
the John Kelly and that Atlantic fucking bullshit thing they wrote. There's I don't think there's going to be an October surprise. I mean, I think
Trump doesn't need one.
I think Trump just lets Kamala do her thing.
Yeah,
and
just go out and talk.
Yeah, that's
surprise.
Surprise! You're an idiot. And I think that I think they, like I said, the last ditch effort against Trump is this whole Hitler type fascist bullshit that they've been troping out for not just Trump, but for every Republican since like 1990.
Yeah.
They called Mitt Romney like Hitler.
Well, they named him, they called Gerald Ford, Reagan, Bush, Romney. It's just what they call
McCain. I think. I don't know if they actually call McCain Hitler.
I doubt they called McCain.
But I mean,
I'm sure
Milquetoast Romney, they said he was like Hitler.
Yeah.
The dude couldn't be anything further from Hitler. You know, he's a horrible Republican and probably a Democrat, but I mean,
oh yeah, Romney's a straight up piece of shit. That's what he is.
But I mean, he's not Hitler.
He's not Hitler. Sure. He's just a straight up piece of shit.
Yeah.
Now, someone did bring up on I think Brett Baer how Trump does call Kamala a communist. But I'm just saying, I mean, it's not right to do it either way, but she is the only candidate that has proposed stuff that is communist. So
yeah.
Well, when you want free speech, jailing your opponent.
When you price fix, that's communism.
Well, just loading the fucking entire government up with social programs is communism.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, every social program is a form of socialism. It's the many taking care of, whatever.
The few.
So that is a form of socialism. All social programs are a form of socialism.
Well, I mean, that's in the name.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, if you point it out, like, okay, I'm not saying she's Hitler because nobody's Hitler. Hitler's Hitler. He was a horrible human being, and people should really just retire that name and stop calling people that.
Yeah, because
unless you got somebody like mounting an army that's murdering innocent people.
Yeah, you're literally using it. I mean, you took all meaning out of the word.
Yeah.
Or the name, not the word. But I mean, Hitler should be used as
Hitler
act of evil. I mean, like the worst kind of evil. Not because you don't like this, not because Orange Man bad and you don't like how he tweets.
Well, that's another thing with Hillary Clinton, because I guess Trump's going to do his roundup speech at Madison Square Gardens, and she's like, "That's what Hitler did in the 30s." Blah blah. Why in the hell is anybody talking to Hillary Clinton? She was a horrible Secretary of State. She was a short-lived senator. She's a loser for a presidential candidate, and her voice is horrendously annoying.
To be honest, she's the reason that Trump's even viable as a candidate.
Yeah. Like, I do not understand why people are fucking talking to her.
I don't know either.
And like, why would, and then she offers up advice.
Yeah.
It's like,
Her-
you're a
Her
loser.
husband has been doing Bill Clinton has been doing nothing but hurt him either.
Yeah, no. It's like, you just go out there and, I don't know. It's like him and Biden got together. I'm like, hey, man, let's go ahead. Let's go poke the bear with that Kamala girl. Yeah.
I mean, they were talking about immigration, how that girl died in Georgia, and
Yeah. It's like, well, if we had stronger screenings, she'd probably still be alive. I'm like,
there you go.
thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, creepy Uncle Bill. Now you're gonna have to step out of yourself a little bit, Kevin. But if
Okay.
you were a campaign manager for either side, what's some advice you would give to both candidates?
For Trump, I would say just keep doing what you're doing. Keep JD Vance on the news media circuit. Do your rallies, do your photo ops, do your podcasts. Those are all working. You're getting a new audience with these podcast forums like Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan. I think he did a couple other comedian type ones. Keep doing those. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Just keep, you're doing everything right. Actually, I mean, you're not putting your foot in your mouth. You're doing it. Maybe don't talk about Arnold Palmer's dick, but I mean, other than that,
That's a big ass, Kevin. You have a problem with that.
I'm just saying maybe you shouldn't, but he's
Try to
doing
keep
everything
it
good.
down to bring it up once.
Like that
per
Al
conversation.
Smith dinner was awesome, so he did great there. If I was for Kamala, I would say stick to your written speeches, do those, stay off live question type of things, things you have to answer. Don't do any podcast. Basically the opposite of Trump. Just kind of basement it and
Pray.
don't let Walls say anything stupid because that guy is also horrible at interviews. So I don't know. I mean, what can you do if you're a Kamala Harris to maybe?
I think they need to. I agree with you on Trump. Like, I think he's doing what he's doing. He's being himself, and he's just, he's having a good time with it. And I think he's got some breathing room, which does not mean that you shouldn't go out and vote.
Yep. Vote.
But I think they need to do something to give real answers. Here's the problem, and this is why you could give her all the best. She's already a polished politician, so everything she says is scripted like typical politicians. But she has a losing platform.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. She
people
can't.
with it. So like, I guess you could say.
I mean,
lie.
you can't. What you can't do is go off of any kind of policy. And what she has been doing is she's saying she wouldn't do anything different in her first 3.5 years, which I think she kind of has to, right? She kind of has to say, I agree with Biden did threw her out because I was a part of this administration. So she can't be like, I would have done this different because
Well,
people
and
would be
she
like,
set
why
herself
didn't
up.
you? Yeah.
Like, she boxed herself in because she could have been like, what? I'm a vice president. I'm not running the country. But she boxed herself in when she was like, I was the last person in the room. He always took my suggestions for everything. So it's like, okay, you just tied yourself to everything Biden did.
Yeah.
So you can't step away from it. That's why it would be hard. I guess I would say cut out the word salad, give decisive answers, own your shit. But at the end of the day, who she is, what she stands for, and what she believes in just isn't what America wants or needs right now.
Well, I mean,
So you're
one
kind
thing,
of fucked.
but seriously, you don't know what she stands for.
She stands for whatever she's told to stand for.
Yeah, exactly. So she doesn't know, and we don't know what she will do when she's president, and that's a problem. Is I don't know. I mean, is she going to fucking get rid of ICE? Is she going to, do all these fucking Marxist fucking plans? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to get rid of do a lot of this shit because even if if somehow the Republicans lose the House and the Senate, it's not going to be in a majority enough to either kill the filibuster or stack the Supreme Court or shit like that because there's not going to be enough voting room.
I think it's amazing that she wants to kill the filibuster, and that's like her number one tactic when in interviews to avoid
Exactly. Yeah.
questions and to run out the clock.
You know, so they want to kill the filibuster because they want to be able to, you know, pack the courts and do what they want. They want to fast track shit through.
No, that's true. Being that Democrats are really bad about projection, and basically what they accuse people of doing, they do themselves. If and when Trump wins, do you think there will be a peaceful transfer of power?
Like between Biden and Trump.
Biden and Trump. I think a lot of people that bitch about January 6th conveniently forgot about the riots after Trump's inauguration.
Oh, I know. So what I think will happen, and I think there will be a peaceful transfer of power in Washington, you know, between the heads of states, you know, head of the parties and stuff like that. I think there will be some rioting. I think there will be some, well, definitely protesting. And it usually turns into riots. Thanks, Antifa.
Yeah.
So I think there will be, but I don't think it's going to be that major because I think I think really in the most part, even people voting for Kamala, unless you're like a left loony fanatic type of person,
Those are all the people that go out and protest and damage shit.
I know, but I mean, like for the most part, America, like the same way on the far right, like the super right wing, not like the racist, you know, what they call the far right, but like the ultra mega or whatever, you know, those people, like, you know, who, you know, either way, I mean, they're just the loudest of us. I mean, like 90% of America just does their thing and just wants the country to run normally. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be, you know, the 5% of the population that's going to fucking kick shit off and make shit stupid. And I think there will be shit burning if Trump wins in some of these cities.
Could you imagine a Democrat
And I guarantee no one will be arrested. No one will be charged because, you know.
Could you imagine a Democrat version of January 6th? The Democrat supporter version of January 6th?
What's it going to be? A bunch of lesbians?
Think 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Is it a bunch of lesbians marching around in the streets?
No. But,
spackling walls, or were they burning down buildings?
They were burning down buildings.
Were people dying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's going to be like the George Floyd riots because I don't think, one, you don't have the race issue to where.
No, they just have them saying that democracy is going to end. He's Hitler, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not that many people. I get what you're trying to do here, but I just don't think there's that many people that actually believe it. There is. I mean, there's plenty, but there's not enough. I don't think there's enough. Like when Trump lost in 2020, I think almost every person who voted for Trump knew something fishy went on.
Kevin, you can't say that. You're going to get kicked off. If we get kicked off of YouTube, jump on over to Rumble.
I'm just saying fishy. I don't know what it was.
So I'm not the only one
Things
watching.
like the laptop computer that came out. Everybody knew social media banning people from, you know, saying certain things about Trump or, you know, Trump getting kicked off fucking social media. These things happened and people could see that elections were being interfered with. The whole right knew something, you know, this was a fucked up election. The mail-in voting, this whole fucking COVID shit, everything the right knew. This is rhetoric that they've been using the whole time. And if Trump does win, I just don't think enough people are like, you know, we threw out a shitty candidate. You know, there will be people rioting, and I guarantee there will be, but I don't think it's going to be like 2020. I believe there will be. I bet you at some point in Washington, the National Guard will be called out, but I don't think like across the country, there may be some protests here and there, but I don't think it's going to be like a nationwide problem. Washington's probably going to have some kind of protest. Shit's probably going to turn a little violent. You know, because the left doesn't know how to do shit without turning shit violent.
Because they can't control their emotions.
Yeah. You know, the party of joy always turns to the party of destruction if they don't get their fucking way like a bunch of fucking babies.
Oh, that's true.
So, yes, there will be problems. But I think for the most part, the regular left knows they got a shitty candidate. The regular Democrats, they know they don't have a great candidate.
Well,
out there.
the
They
fucked
heard
up
'em.
thing is though, if like these abandoned Democrats, like even people that just like are Democrats, they've always been Democrats, but the party left them. The only way that you're going to steer the ship of your party is you have to send a message that no, we're not into this far left shit, and they're not doing it.
No,
I mean,
there
that's
needs
what I
to be
understand.
repercussions. Like I said, like when the George Floyd shit out, these people committed heinous crimes. They destroyed buildings. The people in Portland were firebombing the fucking courthouse, the federal courthouse. They took city blocks and just occupied them, not allowing any kind of police force or any kind of medical force or medical personnel in there. They weren't they took parts of a city and claimed it as their own, and nothing happened to these people.
Hey, here's a question. Now, if you go in, now you have paper ballots, right? Like, do you just fill out a paper ballot?
Fill out a paper ballot, they put it in a machine.
All right. Well, and I don't know. You might be able to skip. Like, we have ours we fill it out on a machine, and then it prints your ballot out, and then you can read it, to make sure all your votes are right. If you go in and vote, you need to also vote down ballot, because if we don't keep the House and we don't gain the Senate, it's just going to be a constant shit show.
It's going to be what it was in the first Trump term. They're going to find bullshit reasons to do fucking impeachment charges.
Like, if you don't like the way the country's going, a real stern message needs to be like, we need to retain the House, win the Senate, and Trump needs to win the popular vote, which means everybody needs to go out and vote. If you're not rich, you're probably being affected by this economy, and you need to go out and vote, and you need to vote all the way down for red. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Like the candidate where I'm at, Miller Meeks, there's a chance she'll lose. That's because no one does. She hasn't done anything.
Is she a Republican?
Yeah. Like, Iowa's completely red. They don't have a Democrat senator or House person right now.
Maybe she's taking it for granted. I don't know. It's like Ted Cruz takes his runs for granted until like the last month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. She's just not a great candidate.
And if you're in Texas, if you're that one listener,
she's a rhino, is what she is.
If you're in Texas, vote Ted Cruz.
She's kind of a rhino, but I mean, she's better than a Democrat, though. So
is she for Congress or Senate?
Congress.
Is it in your district?
Yes. I'm going to vote for her.
You should have ran against her.
I did. I voted against. No, I'm not going to run against her. I don't have any money. No one's backing me.
No, that's how they get money. You say you're going to run for Congress and people gives you money.
Is that how you get money?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm running for Congress. Send me money.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, next time, 4 years.
See, and that's why I kind of wish like my congressman in my area is like, he's good and he votes right way, but like you never hear about him. And I wish he was kind of crappy, because then I would run for Congress just so I could be that loud, annoying guy.
Yeah.
It's like, now Texas representatives need to be heard and known and disliked by everybody in Washington.
Yes. I think she's like a Ukraine person. And I mean, she's for Israel too, which I'm cool with. But the endless Ukraine war, like, why is everybody trying? All right. We'll talk about this when I go through my winners and losers. But
yeah, we can do that, because that pretty well wraps up the main topic. So let's go ahead and run into winners and losers of the week, Kevin. What do you think of that?
Yay.
In my book, you're a winner too.
I think you're a loser.
So who is your loser of the week, Kevin?
Who'd I say? I can't remember because I didn't write it down.
The clown lady at the White House.
Oh yeah, Karine Jean-Pierre. Because basically what she said on podium through like behind the podium of the official, the presidential United States seal, all that shit, is she called Donald Trump a fascist, which is a bold statement coming from the highest authority in the country. I mean, you just called your rival a fascist, knowing he's not a fascist. And after he's had 3 different times, one time actually shot at, but 2 other attempts, people trying to kill him. Did you hear about the one in Coachella?
No.
Yeah, so I guess somebody was, caught beforehand with gun and shit.
Actually, it's like 4 attempts because one guy actually got caught before he ever had. It was an Iranian.
Yeah, so I mean, there's been plenty of attempts on his life, and you're still throwing out this rhetoric of
And they don't apologize for it.
they
They'll
don't.
like admit
But
that
the
it's
only
wrong, and then just be like, "But we're gonna keep doing it."
well, here's the thing: is they're like, yes, he's Hitler. Then he gets shot. Be like, political violence is bad, even towards Hitler. I mean, if some of these people are there's deranged people in the U.S. Sorry, but people have there's a mental health crisis in the U.S. and people take politics way too seriously sometimes, to where like they
Well,
actually want to murder a political person.
Kevin, you got to remember though,
To where somebody's like, "Hey, if I could stop Hitler, why wouldn't I try it?"
Harris already said if she wins, everyone in that White House is getting fired. So they all hate her. She hates. So either way, after next January next year, they're all unemployed. So they're all a little on edge. They're all a little stressed out, Kevin. Have some compassion for their
Fuck
ignorance.
them. They should be.
I
They
do.
should have been unemployed 4 years. They should have been employed in the first place. But we have
that's true.
fucking 82 million people that are fucking stupid as hell. So
That's true. 82 legitimate human beings.
82 million people. Quotation marks.
100% legitimate.
Safest
People.
and secure. So if Trump, all right, let me ask you this before we get on your loser real quick. If Trump loses, will it still be called the safest, securest election ever?
No, I'm pretty sure they're going to be saying everything we were saying after 2020, except for there won't be the weird spikes. There will be, the way it sounds on election day, there is going to be, well, I don't know how that works. So I think there's going to be a spike for Trump because I don't know if they do the same day balloting first and then they do the mail in and, early voting second.
See,
Because it always seems like, the Republicans always come out strong and then it tapers off because of early
mail-in.
voting.
Yeah, early voting mail in.
Well, see, there might be 2 step ups for Trump
Yeah.
if the exit polling is correct. So they'd be like, see, that's not normal. It's not that we've been running the country so horrible that it motivated a bunch of people to get off their ass and vote.
The weird thing is, I think Florida does it to where they count the mail-in or the mail-in and the early voting as they come in when they release it. That way they can get it all done in one night.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. They'll
And
find
that's how
something.
everybody should do it, I think. However Florida does it, the rest of the country should just follow that model.
Well, Democrats have no self-reflection and like they're totally oblivious to themselves. So it doesn't matter,
A
what's going
hypocrite
on.
doesn't know they're a hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly. Hence being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
My loser is the original Slim Shady Eminem.
Yeah.
Basically, not because he's a douche and he supports Harris, but did you hear any of the stuff he said at that
No, I
rally?
wasn't listening. I didn't listen to any of it.
He's basically saying some of what he said was like, yeah, if you believe in free speech, you got to vote for Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's like-
gotta be like, I don't know who this person is, but they paid me to be here.
Yeah. They paid me to be here. I'm reading off a card. I know it's bullshit. It's like,
But I'm going to cash
what
this check.
the actual fuck?
Free speech. Really, if you believe in free speech, the people who want to fucking take down Elon Musk because he let X become a free speech platform.
Yeah. Well, and I don't get what his beef with Trump anyway. Like, granted, he's kind of plateaued in his career like a while ago. I think he might do some collaborative work every now and again with an artist, but he's kind of irrelevant now. Like, he's run his course. Like Greg Gutfeld said, he's basically, a couple years away from being an AARP member.
Yeah.
So I don't understand his beef with Trump to begin with. I just never understood it. Other than, I just love these guys who try to act like badasses. Like, yeah, I'm a rebel. And then all they do is support the party that wants the most control over your life as possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, he's a fucking loser. I thought he was a loser pretty much since 2016. Who's your winner, Kevin?
Israel.
Israel. Oh.
And it just came out. So if you're watching this live, yes, that they went there. They bombed Tehran's international airport. Iran's international airport, Tehran. Yeah.
Well, that's not cool. That's totally going to devastate their tourism.
So what I was going to say about Israel is, it's funny that all these Democrats want this war to end in Israel, and against Hamas and against Hezbollah and against Iran, but they don't want the war in Ukraine and Russia to end.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. They never were dumping literally hundreds of billions of dollars into Ukraine, and no one ever utters the word ceasefire. But ever since Israel started kicking ass and taking names, they're like, "We need a ceasefire. We need a ceasefire."
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I do. I mean, I think we all do. I'll say it again.
Israel is a much more capable country, and they rely less. There's less money to be made in Israel. Granted, they do buy arms from us. They do that, but they don't need it on the scale that Ukraine. I guarantee it comes down to money.
It comes down to money and money laundering.
Yes. Don't like that dirty money, Kevin.
Nope, you got to have some clean money. Got to have that clean money. But yeah, Israel, good on them. People keep fucking shooting rockets at you. You got to fucking be like, hey, you're going to get fucked.
They just keep adding people to fuck around and find out club. And
I just hope Trump wins.
yes,
I do. I hope Trump wins. So you can be like, Israel, do what you got to do.
Well, and I hope Trump wins because I think the temperature of the entire world is going to cool down, because now North Korea is sending troops to be trained to fight with Russia in the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
Which technically, I'm not exactly sure how many countries got to be in on it, but that is one big ass step closer to
World
World War.
And Trump said he's going to prevent World War III.
So, and I think he will.
He says if Kamala wins, World War III will happen.
I guarantee it will.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. Like it.
No, the world's in chaos right now. The Middle East is in chaos. Obviously, Russia and Ukraine, and now North Korea is helping Russia. How far away from China helping Russia? I mean, it's not far away, and it's all because people are warmongers. And the whole reason this is happening is
warmongers, and they're weak.
Yes, what they're doing is they're perpetuating a war that could have been settled long ago.
Well, and I think Israel took a book out of, I think Obama said it or somebody, about how Joe Biden's been wrong on every foreign affairs his entire career. So like, all right, so here's our plan. Everything this guy says, we do the opposite.
Yeah.
Ceasefire. Bomb!
So who's your loser, Josh?
My winner is JD Vance.
Oh, JD Vance. Why's that?
Just because he's been destroying
the media
news pundits just left and right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, now this is kind of old, but he's continued to do with other people. But that lady who's saying the Venezuelan gangs taking over the apartment complex, and she was like, oh, it was just a handful, it wasn't that bad. And he's like, yeah, do you listen? Do you hear yourself speaking?
At what point does a foreign entity have to take over
one apartment, not complex, one apartment where someone gets thrown out of their home by an illegal Venezuelan gang member is too much?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, Jesus. So he just
it's only a couple apartment complexes. Like, come on, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's going around making all these people look just stupid. So yeah, that's why he's my winner. Let's go into the Trump truth, Kevin.
Trump truth.
What I say is what I say.
And my Trump truth for this week is, why would Muslims support lying Kamala Harris when she embraces Muslim-hating Liz Cheney, a total loser whose father brought years of war and death to the Middle East? Huge question marks. And that was the Trump truth of the...
What I say is what I say.
Which takes us right into happenings of the week, Kevin.
Happenings of the week.
What's happening?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
I don't know if it's my maturity level, but I love the fact that one of those
is the guy
shitting his pants.
It's hilarious. That's my favorite one.
This just kind of goes into what you're talking about with Israel, but the U.S. government leaked IDF attack plans on Iran. That was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, so there's obviously a traitor in the fucking high military of the
Well,
their
yeah,
high
you got all
government.
these. You got like you're not going to see any or very few. I would say none. Muslim terrorist apologists on the right, but they are littered throughout the Democrat Party.
Exactly. And I mean, what the fuck? And if they basically forced Israel's hand into doing this.
Yeah, if you're totally trying to just now, granted, if Trump gets reelected, that will instantly mend the bonds between Israel and the United States.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, you know, I don't even know. Did Bibi Netanyahu like actually meet with any of our president or vice president when he was here,
Yeah.
or
I
did he just
believe-
meet with like their loser aides?
No, he met with them.
But I just thought it was great how he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go by to this, regular citizen's house in Florida before I fly out."
Yeah. So
Like,
I think
"Oh, when you're president, you got us right." Yep.
well,
all
who's
right.
done more for Israel than Donald Trump?
No one. Like
Exactly.
literally no one.
No. The
I
Abraham
don't care
Accords,
what people say about
moving
him.
the what was it? The embassy to Jerusalem.
Just in the whole, in the Abraham Accords are huge. How that dude did not get a Nobel Peace Prize for that is beyond me.
Because he's Donald Trump, and every large entity in the world is a fucking far left crap hole anymore. So the Nobel company, anything that has to do with scholars anymore, the experts aren't experts.
No,
I mean, there's
Obama
there's a
got
few-
one literally for being elected.
Yeah, for being a black president.
Yeah, that's why he got it.
Yeah. Trump damn near brought peace to the Middle East. And maybe, so I was thinking about this, like, maybe we're too hard on the Democrats because, technically the peace in the Middle East is supposed to bring out the fucking Antichrist.
Just bring on the rapture.
Yeah. So maybe the Democrats,
Maybe the Democrats are just trying to stave off the end of the world, Kevin.
well, why? I mean, technically it's the end of the world, but then Jesus comes down for 1,000 years. And there's peace throughout the
Yeah,
world.
but there's like 7 years of shit, and I'm just.
Oh yeah.
Let's just
you
say
don't
if
think
they're
you're gonna
still
get
doing this
raptured?
podcast after the rapture, I'm not going to be overly surprised.
What are you saying, man? You don't want to get raptured?
I'm just saying that we're probably going to have a pretty big audience pool too, so we'll all be fucked for the next 7 years.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to rain blood. It's supposed to be like complete darkness for like 30 days, like complete 100% darkness, like lights don't even go through, stars, the sun, electricity doesn't work.
You can always get Channing Tanning as a gimp though, so that's always good.
That is true. Then there's other things. There's supposed to be a giant meteor that hits the earth. There's all kinds of bad things that happen.
Just horrible.
But if you repent,
I get to see Jesus coming down after that. I'm like, hey, look at you. You made it. God.
God, you're in. It's just, I don't know. It's just
I don't know,
something
just
else.
saying.
I like it.
What'd you think about Biden saying the quiet part out loud as far as we got to lock him up?
I think, well, I mean,
Then he
her actions-
clarified. See, there's another.
Then
clip
he
that
said, lock him up politically. Because he
said lock him up.
No, he said lock him up. But
then he said
lock,
lock him out.
yeah, lock him
Politically.
up. Yeah. So
He changed what he said.
because he doesn't know. I mean, he knows what he said. He doesn't know how to hide what he wants to say. He can't. He doesn't have that political talk anymore. He just says like he's got the old man racist speech.
But why aren't they? Did you hear the other part of that clip
What part?
about him talking about presidential immunity?
No.
Yeah, he was talking about presidential immunity and how he didn't say any names, but how she needs to like have him shot or killed or something.
Yeah, he's
Like that was, I thought that part was way worse than lock him up, and they just stepped right over that part.
well. I mean, it's what they've been trying to do. All of this. They've been trying to kill him. They've been trying to lock him up. This is all what they're trying to do. Biden just doesn't know how to hide it anymore because
that's true.
he's old and feeble, and
That's kind
he's-
of the White
like I
House.
said, he's got that old racist person type thing where they just don't give a fuck because their brain don't work no more.
Oh, that's true. It's kind of like when Kamala was asked, like, what are some of the things that you did wrong and you learned from? And like, I was just one of the things that popped in my head is could be, calling Biden a rapist and a racist, and then being his running mate. I mean, just saying that was a. There's so many things that they get a step over.
I know.
She's like, "Oh, I believe her. That dude's a rapist." Hey, you want to be my VP? Sure do.
Yeah, you're not a rapist anymore.
And that dude is
You're
on
my
tape.
commander in chief.
Every time Biden says anything about race, I would just play him dropping the hard R in Congress.
Right?
I mean, and I'm pretty sure pretty sure one of the times he said it was when what's his face is being confirmed for
Clarence
the Supreme
Thomas.
Court. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely said that. And he said, what did he say? He doesn't want his kids going to school in a jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
No,
the
he's
dude's like-
super racist.
Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that people are just like, nah, he's better now.
No. I mean, he's been racist up until like his 70s, but no, he's better now.
Yeah, because that's when people get less racist. Is
He
when
did
they-
do a big, do you remember? I think I half-ass remember learning this in school about the Indian children. He did a big
What?
apology for it. You didn't hear about that?
No.
This is like a long time ago, but apparently back in the day, the U.S. government took Indian children from their tribes and put them in boarding schools, and apparently there were allegations of physical, mental, and sexual abuse. You never heard of that?
No.
It was a long time ago, but that he did this big apology thing for it, which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess as a country, you're apologizing to people that weren't currently directly affected by it, but I guess it needed to be said, but it's like, it was one of the darkest when the part where he said this is one of the darkest days for the country. The first thing that popped in my head was like, oh, kind of like when Roosevelt, corralled a bunch of Japanese Americans up and threw them in internment camps for doing nothing.
Yeah.
That wasn't racist
Right?
or illegal. I'm just
Like,
saying.
we weren't much, but we didn't gas them at least.
But see, that's like one of those things, though, that like it happened, and I think that should be taught in American history. All of it.
Yeah. Oh,
All the
of it,
bad, all the good, it all needs to be taught.
Yeah. Like,
because
I don't think
it should be taught.
I
to,
don't
like,
think
make,
people know that we did lock up Japanese people in internment camps.
No, there's probably a lot of people that don't know that. Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit that happened in this country, and
Yeah.
part of it was us being a new country, and like, yeah, we weren't the first to abolish slavery, but we were the fastest to do it as
Yep.
far as like the birth of a nation, stuff like that. But it all needs to be taught, and not under the guise of like, hey, you're bad because you're an American and they did this 100 years ago.
No, because
it just needs to be taught.
because
It's
we need
part of our story.
people need to learn the mistakes we've made so we don't repeat them.
Well, and the fact that we made those mistakes and then we've done corrections to get past it.
Yes, but now people are trying to, blame certain groups because of mistakes in the past. People should not be living in the past. They should be looking how to change the future or how to progress in the future. I mean, bringing up the past, it helps. You should know what happened in the past, but you shouldn't be criminalized for what somebody else did in the past.
Yeah.
Like, you need to learn these lessons, but you shouldn't be punished for something somebody else did.
I agree with that. Like, I think, and it all needs to be taught. Like, we don't need to make it worse than what it was, make it sound worse than what it was, and we don't need to make it sound better than what it was. It just needs to be taught.
Yeah. Here's
That
the
way-
facts.
Yeah. And, and we're never perfect. We're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect because people aren't perfect. And we're going to constantly strive to be a better country, but on a note to that, changing the structural foundation of the country is not the way to do it.
Exactly.
As fast as we have grown as a country and advanced as a people, based on the foundation that our founding fathers set, already says that it's the best style that's been on the planet to date.
Yeah.
They've tried socialism multiple times. Tens of millions of people died.
Yep.
Same with communism. Fucking fascism, all of that stuff. It's all been tried. Ours was the first.
Yep.
Our structure for government is the first that's ever been tried in history, and
The great
it's working
social
out pretty
experiment.
good. and it's worked out pretty good, and we are improving it. So yeah, I just think they.
But you know why it's it's worked well is because people are trying to dismantle it.
Yes. People in power. And they've been trying to do that throughout American history. There's always been people that are like, oh no, we need more power. Oh,
Well,
we need
jealousy
this,
is a
we need that."
motherfucker. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it is. I'm not jealous of anybody.
I'm green and with jealous rage.
I'm not. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I mean, would I like to have other people's bank accounts with money in it? Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah,
And you can help us do that by liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting.
exactly. And
But,
buy our shit.
Yeah, buy our shit. What'd you think of the Georgia DA expensing meetings with the White House?
One, I didn't know this happened, and is that something
You didn't know that? Yeah,
No.
the DA, the guy got kicked off. What's her face's boyfriend?
Oh, that guy?
He was expensing meetings that he had with the White House prior to going after Trump.
No, I didn't know. So, yeah, that looks really bad. How
Yeah.
has that case not been thrown out?
I think it's going to. And like everyone's like, oh, he's going to get back in and go after his rivals, blah, blah. If I was Trump, I would investigate every single case that was brought up against me to see if there's collusion with the federal government,
Yeah.
most specifically the White
So
House.
what happens with the New York case with the sentencing if he wins? Does this get delayed until after he?
Pretty much. Because he can't pardon himself from that, except
No, it's the
for
state.
Well, the problem with the New York cases is like a lot of the parts that they found him guilty on were federal statutes or had to do with like it kind of his presidential immunity kicks in on that. So I think that case is actually going to fall apart, but who knows? Let's see. Okay, so we got to play this little video for this one. So the guy running against Josh Hawley.
Yeah, Kuntz.
No, it's not cute. I don't know what his name is.
I think it
But
is Kuntz.
They set up this photo op and they're shooting guns. And this reporter gets hit. At the bottom half of his arm. So
Like,
this is the candidate wrapping his arm. Okay.
Oh, here's the thing. They made this fucking shooting range, right? And he was
This is
using
at a private range, supposedly.
No, did you see this range? Like the fucking targets were 20 feet, metal targets 20 feet away from him.
So what you're saying is you shouldn't shoot a metal target 20 feet away
With an AR-15.
With an
with a high-
AR-15.
And they had like a long range scope on it, so it was really weird.
Yeah. Oh, it was totally fake. But did you see the arm?
Yeah, it was
It's
so
like-
purple.
And later on, that reporter lost that arm to the tourniquet.
Did
that's
you see
like-
the headline the Atlantic wrote?
No.
Democrat, it was Democrat addresses wound to reporter. They didn't mention how he got the wound. They just
Well, it can't. Yeah, that's the fucked up part. So he catches a ricochet. You can see his arm, other than it turning purple. Okay, so the guy was I think he was a Marine. He was ex-military. Okay?
yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't a medic. For one, I guarantee you, all he needed was a Band-Aid. Two, and I am not a medic. I've taken plenty of first aid classes for work. He's got that bandage wrapped way too fucking tight.
Well, no shit. The bottom half of his arm is turning purple.
It's like here, I guarantee you, as soon as I got off, they're like, "All right, get this shit off. I can't feel my fingers."
Jesus. I mean, it was bad.
And it's like, I don't know. It's just like every time.
I
they
mean,
fix it-
they're in Missouri, so I can understand the whole gun thing because, I'm for guns, even though I'm a Democrat, blah, blah, blah. I've never shot a gun in my life. I'm going to shoot at a metal target 20 feet away. I'm sure nothing bad could happen.
well, even Dana Perino noticed those targets seem really close.
Yeah.
And steel
And you're
targets
using-
are dangerous, which is why you don't shoot them with a fucking rifle unless they're 50 to 100 yards away.
Not 20 feet.
No,
That's 10 yards. Not even.
that's the problem with steel targets too. Yeah, you get audible recognition that you hit the target, but they're also very dangerous, which is why you actually want to have most of them angled down a bit.
That's like 7 yards. That's 7 yards away.
That was set up for handguns.
Yeah.
And even then, I would still be.
I would still be a little nervous at 20 feet. Like, people are fucking stupid.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing that it happened, and then the way he was wrapping his arm,
As tight as he possibly can.
yeah,
You won't lose it on my watch. unless
did
it
you,
dies from blood loss or from blood circulation loss.
yeah. Did you see that? I don't know if it was a town hall or something, but it was a media like MSNBC or one of the other networks that nobody gives a shit about. Did you see when thought they were talking to Kamala voters and they were asking like, "Oh, what's this and that," and they all just shit all over Harris.
No,
They're like, they found a group of black women and they just assumed they were voting for Harris, and they started asking her questions like, "I'm voting for Trump."
I didn't see this.
Yeah, they were just like talking mad shit. It's like she don't know what she's talking about. Word salad.
Was this
blah, blah,
live?
blah. It was like on TV. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they taped it and showed
No,
it. Right?
no, it was live. That's how it
Okay,
made
so
it
there's
onto the
no way
airwaves.
they're going to tape that and show it on MSNBC.
Yeah, it was like a live reaction. Like, oh, and here's some Kamala support. Like, wait, supporting Kamala.
I like how they just assumed like a black woman is going to support Kamala.
Yeah, but that's not racist or anything.
No, not identity politics at all.
I don't have it in the notes, but I wanted to bring it up. Have you heard that like Ben Stiller, a couple of celebrities, and then Kamala's husband talking about how they're for Harris because they want to protect their daughter's reproductive rights?
No.
Yeah, apparently they're starting some new foundation, Fathers Against Grandchildren's Society. Problem is they're not sure about the acronym.
I like how you got Ben Stiller's face from Zoolander in there.
Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But no, it's like that's what they're doing. It's like, yeah, I don't want to have grandkids. I want to make sure my daughter can have as many abortions as she feels she needs.
So speaking of that, right? So I'm going to go on a little. So I was on X. Somebody started talking about abortion stuff. I'm like, and I get tired of people bringing up, death to like the parent, the mother, and that. You know how often that actually happens? 0.0001% of the time is their fatality due to a pregnancy.
Well, and the one lady that died from the birth control pill she had to take because of the Georgia law.
Yeah.
There are laws that would have allowed for her to have an abortion in that state. She didn't have to take that pill. And there was another one in Texas that they brought up because they bring up, like you were saying, these extreme cases that are very rare.
Yeah.
The one in Texas, she missed her court date.
Yeah.
Because basically, like, if you need to have an abortion, you're outside the window, you have to go to court because of the law. And then they grant you, whatever, if they find, yes, this is, in danger of your life or whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't go. They leave that part out.
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm not going to court. I'm just going over here. They leave all that. And I mean, I get it, but like at some point we need to start talking about personal fucking responsibility. And
again, if you
rape, incest, and all that other shit, I'm talking about.
If you're point out the fucking extremes of something, you're doing something wrong. So where you have to bring out the extremes,
that's where you're trying to make your case. Yeah, because
you're trying to make your case out of the 3.5%. I believe with the last when we did our last, I think abortion. Did we do an abortion one? Or I think the last time we talked about abortion, we had that whole pie graph. Only 3.5% were because of rape, incest, or because of mother's health of abortions. The rest of it was elective.
Well, and what got me like so charged up about it is I was never like for it, but I was like indifferent, I guess, because like
I think I was pro-choice until I actually started fucking
and
reading
like
the statistics.
We were talking about today, though,
the amount of people. There was over a million abortions last year.
There are more black babies aborted than born per year.
Yeah, that
should disgust people. That's horrible.
Yeah. Well, again, and I think we've mentioned this plenty of times. The woman, that Margaret Singer or whatever her name was.
Oh, the one who started.
She started abortion.
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, Planned Parenthood, because she wanted to eugenics. She wanted to get rid of the black babies.
She's a huge racist.
No, go ahead.
That's what got me. The 300,000, I guess, a million now. It's like, and then like I got in some argument with on X about people being like, oh, well, birth control fails. And I look it up. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It actually has a pretty high success rate if you're not an idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. But then it goes against hookup culture and people doing whatever they want and blah, blah, blah. Because people magically wake up pregnant every day, Kevin.
Yes, there's Jesus is just getting born.
Virgin Mary syndrome is spreading across the nation.
Yes,
And
that's
the
right.
Democrats are dead set on stopping it. That's what's actually happening.
Right.
It has nothing to do with personal choices.
Nope.
None at all. What do you think about the Menendez brothers? They get resentenced.
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to this. I don't care.
You know who the Menendez?
Yeah, I know. They killed their parents.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
care.
let's catch you up because it's a big cultural thing. Just because you don't care about it,
I don't care. I know there's a Netflix.
there is a
on
documentary
Netflix.
that I didn't watch.
It's on Netflix. I think they did.
I do know about the case as far as like, yeah, they murdered their parents with shotguns. Apparently, the dad was sexually abusing either one or both of them. The problem is they reloaded the shotgun to murder the mom, and then they went on a huge spending spree once they got the inheritance.
Yeah.
So, but what they're saying is now they got some letters that there's no concrete proof that it happened, and I'm not saying it didn't. If it did, it sucks. If they get out early, though, because this was first degree murder, they planned this, and then it was savage because they reloaded the shotgun to make sure their mom was dead. If they're giving a green light to go after pedophiles, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not necessarily against that.
No. I'm good.
But that like Gaston, who is below in the polls, and I think it's a political move. The judge still needs to approve it, but basically, if they get resentenced to just straight murder instead of first degree murder, they
can
might
get
get
out.
out with time served. So, I mean, if the dad was a molesting piece of shit, whatever.
Well, why'd they kill the mother? Did she know about it?
She knew about it
Oh,
apparently and facilitated it. So
oh
I mean, I
well,
get
then,
it.
No, then yeah, I don't mind. Fuck it, kill him.
I mean, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of saying, it's like, so what you're saying
yeah,
is if someone's a pedophile,
you can kill him.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Why are they all pedophiles? Should be
That
fucking-
is not what I'm saying, Kevin. I'm
I think
not
they should be
condoning
murdered.
vigilantism. I'm just saying Gaston.
No, but I think there should be a death penalty for pedophiles.
It 100% should be.
Yeah, they shouldn't. It shouldn't be like 20 years later. It's hey, you were convicted of being a pedophile. You'll get 1 year to file an appeal and bring up new light saying you're not a pedophile. But if you cannot do that, go.
Well, yeah, I guess you give him a choice between death
Castration.
penalty or castration and a lobotomy.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Speaking of interesting punishments, do you know who Susan Smith is?
I don't know any of these people, man.
Well, these are old cases. Susan Smith is the
What are you
girl.
watching a bunch of fucking ID network?
No, I watched the news. Okay, she's coming up for parole. Okay,
Who the fuck?
this
Susan
is the
Smith?
mother. Now you're gonna know the case. This is the mother that drove her car into a lake and drowned her two children.
Oh, this
so
one
she
I
could
do
be
know.
with her boyfriend.
Yep, I do know this one.
And then
I
she
didn't know her
blamed it on
name.
a black guy.
Yeah. She should
So,
not. She should
she's
not
up
be
for parole.
Yeah. Hopefully, she does not get paroled.
So
Is there
Well,
something fishy
I
about
am
this case too?
okay. No, other than the fact she totally did it. And she's a narcissist and she's like got in trouble for having.
Are you
sex
gonna say
with
you're
cars.
okay for her getting out?
I am okay with her getting parole.
What?
If okay, here's the conditions for parole, Kevin.
She gets to drive her
She
car.
is going to be strapped into a car,
Yeah.
slowly lowered into a lake,
If she can
and
get out.
she's going to stay down there until she loses consciousness from drowning. And if she survives, then she can be paroled. That way, that bitch knows exactly what she put her kids through.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that kind
I'd
of.
even be
parole.
fine with her reviving than doing it one more time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Just keep doing it.
if you live 2 out of 3, you're
I literally
walk free.
hope there's a hell, and that's where her hell is.
Yeah, she's a horrible
Yeah.
person. Like literally did that because her boyfriend didn't want kids. And one was a toddler and one was a baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, all right, you want paroled? Here's what you got to do. If you survive,
Yeah, I
Have fun.
literally hope she fucking. That's what her hell is. It's
Yeah.
her constantly drowning.
constantly
in the
being
car.
drowned. Yeah, she deserves it. Well, I think that wraps up happenings of the week. You got anything else?
Nope. I think we covered everything I can think of.
I guess that only leaves one thing, Kevin.
The White Slur of the Week.
White slur of the week.
What's a honky?
And my white slur of the week is keeping with my losers of the week, Slim Shady. And it's 8 Mile, when white kids try to get ghetto, from the 2002 movie 8 Mile. And that was the white slur.
What's a honky?
It wasn't as funny as the other ones we've done, but I thought it was fitting.
No. But it was good. I liked it.
You kind of act like you didn't like it.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that funny. I mean,
You're a dick.
not every slur is going to be funny.
That's right.
Some are going to be really mean, and some are just going to be meh. I mean, there's only so many white slurs. We're diving into a pool that, we've done probably 50 of these.
Yeah, we've been doing it for at least a year and a half.
Yeah, so
When did we start it? Season 2?
yeah, I mean, I think we're only through like the R's.
Yeah, I mean, I jump around a bit.
And that's
but yeah.
from Z to R.
There is a lot. Slurs.org if you
Yeah.
want to learn all the white slurs.
No, slurs.info.
Oh, info. Yeah, that makes more sense. Oh, that's the wrong clip. All right, Kevin, well, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends about us, even if you don't like us. Make sure maybe if your friends won't like us and you want to throw a goof on them,
Yeah.
send them
And,
our way.
As that, like always, just remember to, buy our shit.
That's right. Buy our shit. And just as a quick update, on November 15th, we will have a guest on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Jones X, he contacted us, wants to be on the show. Apparently he's a self-proclaimed communist, LGBTQ plus and DEI expert. So that will be a very interesting conversation.
Episode because we're against all that.
We are polar opposites on everything that
Has to do with
stands for.
communism and DEI and LGBTQ. I mean, I don't care if you're gay or lesbian, trans.
And this is not an
that's
ambush
what she had.
episode. I am legitimately looking forward to have a conversation with this man. I've watched a couple of his shows. He's not crazy off the handle, screaming, whatever. And I think it's going to be a good show. And it just kind of lets people know that we are not an echo chamber. And we will literally talk to anybody as long as you keep your wits about you on this show. So if you want to be a guest, make sure that you send us an email at thelostcommon1@gmail.com.
Also, just mention that you will be on a podcast Sunday.
It will be on
Daramouth
on Sunday at 4 p.m. Central, 5
He's
p.m.
on Rumble, so give that a listen. So he'll be on about 4 o'clock. So make sure you listen to Josh talk to this guy because I have no idea what they want to talk about.
Neither do I.
Then I think we might be on somebody else's podcast, right?
We might do. We had another guy asked us to be a guest on the show, so if we can get that worked out, we'll be on
Things
there
are
as well.
moving. Things are moving. So thank you for all three of you for watching, and hopefully this hopefully those numbers rise as we start branching out and doing more guests and being guests on shows.
That's right. So until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the Lost Art of Common Sense.
Common
Sense, baby.
Keep that vinyl rolling.
And remember, don't be boring, be a pirate. We'll see you next week, everybody.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically. Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber. They should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes, I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I am prepared to pass a Green New Deal.
I support a mandatory buyback program. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross the border as criminals. The idea that more police equals more safety, that's just wrong.
Policing, as we know, goes all the way back to slave patrols and that idea.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
We need to take a look at these budgets.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic.
Chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing.